Success is granted through action. In life, there are two types of people: the people who are being admired, and those who are the admirer. The difference between the two is the fact that the one being admired has shot so many shots that it's inevitable, and one could say it's almost foolish to think that they're going to not succeed in any capacity. And in this world, everyone have tried. You don't just go out and see someone who have never tried to chase their dreams at least once. But what I think the mistake is that people give up before they've even shot enough to see the laning shot. Now, success is something that on the surface might just seem like a lucky break, but in actuality, the thing that you're not seeing is the 99 missed and failed shots that the people who have made it have taken. You don't see that because one, it's either have been deleted, not uploaded, or they simply just have kept it to themselves. Because no one wants to see the hard work. No one wants to see the 2 hours of wasted footage. The other day, I went out to film my second video on this channel. I wanted to make a day in a life, very typical. That failed horribly. I went out and filmed. The whole thing was off. I failed so horrendously. Some of the video was filmed vertical, and then some of them were filmed horizontal. So I couldn't even put out a consistent horizontal video on YouTube, even if I wanted to. But the biggest problem is how I sounded. I sounded so insecure to myself in this low tone that when I was reviewing the footage, I fell asleep watching my own video. If even I couldn't even bear to watch it, who on YouTube would want to watch that? And these are the things that you don't really see. The problems that pretty much every single creative, every single dreamer, and every single successful person have had a face that you don't see. And if you have an ambitious dream or a goal that seems so delusion that even you yourself can't trust the process enough to see it through, you have to force yourself to see it through. Something that I've heard that I really resonated with, and this is from Chet's YouTube channel, which I'll link down in the description. But he once said that it's not intelligence that is rewarded, but action. If a person who is always in their head thinking and daydreaming about how great their life is going to be, the things that they're gonna do tomorrow instead of doing it today, is always going to be worse off than someone who just, despite all of their shortcoming, despite all the flaws that they have, shoot their shots anyways. They start a business, they fail, they do it again, they fail, but this time they learned something new. Oh, maybe their ad didn't have the greatest hook. Maybe the way they marketed their brain didn't really reach the right audience. They see all of that and they move on. Their next attempt become better and better. it becomes a compounding effect. By their ninth, 10th, for some people, it might even be their 50th, their 100th, their 1000th. By that attempt, they have learned so much from their mistake that it would be stupid to think that something that they're going to try wouldn't stick. Something is not going to completely shoot and make the millions. And I'm not saying this because I'm a successful person, but I'm speaking this from the lens of someone who's also trying his best, going out there and taking risk. And I want to encourage you to follow my journey and do something similar. I'm a broke college student, right? I have maybe at best a couple thousands of dollars in my bank account. I haven't had any internship yet or even taken on a job. But because I believe in myself so much, and I don't want to sound like I'm bragging at all, but because I forcefully placed this delusional self belief that if I just shoot enough volume, right? If I just shoot enough volume, eventually something is going to lane. And that's the kind of mindset that I also want you to take on as well. What started to begin to realize is the patterns of very successful people. They believe in themselves so much that they're not gonna let anyone tell them otherwise. They put their head down, they get the work done, it fails, they try again. Eventually, you see them with 100,000 subscriber, $1 million business. But that's all you see. And it's, to me, it's such a shame how every single one of us have already won this biological lottery of being born, right? I'm pretty sure the chances of being born are somewhere around 1 in 40 something trillion. 1 in something 40 trillion. Do you know how crazy that is? You could win the lottery like multiple time over. That's more likely to happen than you being born. And you really only have so much time on this earth before we inevitably die. I find it such a shame that people aren't taking more risk. If you knew that you're going to die, you'd assume that you'd use every moment of your life living it to the fullest, taking as many risks as you can, and not have regrets on your deathbed. But what do we see instead? We see people in their 80s, 70, 80s, lying on their deathbed, saying how they wish they had taken more risk. They wish they had asked that girl out, start that startup, ran a business, and they close their eye and their story ends right there. I don't think any sane person will want that for themselves. And what do you really lose by taking on this journey? Yeah, you might make a fool out of yourself, I'll admit it. Right now, I'm very nervous. I'm actually shaking in my boots. But that's something that you have to eventually overcome. And that's what I'm actively trying to do right now. I may not be the biggest YouTuber on earth. Matter of fact, I have like no subscriber by the time I upload this. But it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. I'm not gonna edit this video that much. I'll just cut out the really long pauses that was in this video and I'll just upload it raw. Go shoot more shots, take more risk. If it fails, what's the worst that could happen? You move on. Matter of fact, that's a positive for you. You learned a lesson that you could apply later on in life. That's all I wanted to talk about. Thank you for watching.